Hey guys, going to be reviewing the Rick Ross Black Dollar mixtape that came out yesterday. I was really anticipating this mixtape. At first it was kind of like they were saying it might be like a little album, and then it's kind of turned into it's just really a mixtape. So I was really anticipating this, and I like Rick Ross. I was expecting good things, and to be honest, I wasn't disappointed. There were some songs I feel that didn't really do much for me, but for the most part, I loved all of these songs. So let's jump right into the track list here. Number one was Foreclosures. This is, I think, one of the most talked about songs from this mixtape already. I mean, it's only been a day, but this is the one that most people I see on the internet are talking about. This one is kind of expected Rick Ross. It's a really good opening for the mixtape. I'm glad that this was the first song. This one, as far as rhymes, honestly, I think it's one of the better songs as far as raps and actual rhyming goes. This one's just about, having money and about his old life versus his new life and all of that typical rap stuff. The second song is Money Dance with The Dream. This one has kind of a piano intro, and this one's all about making money, obviously. It's a slower feel. The Dream's voice is very nice and smooth, like always. I like The Dream. His stuff doesn't ever really sound too different, but it's, it was typical The Dream, Rick. Nice second track, still easing into the album here. Sorry, the mixtape. The third track is We Gonna Make It. This one starts with kind of a story intro about having, drive and faith and, hope for getting famous and, going against all the odds. But I mean, as good as the message in this song was, I think that it got a little bit annoying. We gonna make it. Just, I don't need to hear that, a billion times in the same song. It has a better message than most of the tracks on this mixtape, even though it was a little bit annoying. All right, the next one is Bill Gates. Now, okay, he's calling himself Bill Gates because he's got a lot of money, he's rich, he's famous, blah, blah, blah. Okay, got it. This one is a little bit quicker. The beat's a little faster than most of the other ones so far. I kind of like the beat on this. It's a little cool. That's one thing I love about Rick Ross is he's always got really cool instrumentals on his, projects. So I was definitely not disappointed with any of these tracks as far as instrumental goes. The next track is Money and Powder. I mean, we all know what the powder is. Okay, this one's back to kind of a slower feel, praying for 100 keys of powder. I mean, if that's what you pray for, that's cool. Pretty good raps. The beat's a little bit too simple for the monotone rap that he did on this track. Now, if the beat was a little more intricate, I think he could have gotten away with some of that more monotone delivery, but it was all kind of just flat for me. It wasn't very stimulating, but it wasn't a bad track. I would say it was one of my least favorite, but not a bad track by any means. Geechee Liberace. This one has cool instrumentals. Not too relaxed, but not really like a fast track. The rhymes here aren't great. Again, this one for me got a little bit kind of repetitive and annoying. Wasn't, didn't really do it for me. Icon featuring Anthony Hamilton. This is on my tracks of the week that I think I'm going to put out tomorrow, maybe. But this is my favorite track in terms of overall feel. It has kind of raw vocals. The rhythms on this are kind of different. They're kind of hit or miss in spots, but I think that, overall this track had pretty much everything that I was looking for in a Rick Ross track. It had him, it had Anthony Hamilton kind of, giving it a different sound, and I don't know, just about, all eyes are going to be on me, kind of, again, that, rap, very centralized idea of, look at me. World's Finest, Meek Mill. I mean, I'm still a little upset with Meek Mill after the whole Drake thing, but, I had to pick sides, so I picked. This one I think is one of my favorite beats of all of the tracks on here, one of my favorite instrumentals. It's kind of funky, again, about being on top, women, money, powder, all of that. Meek's verse is pretty good. Again, I don't dislike Meek, I just, I had to play the game. I think Meek's verse was better than Rick's stuff on this song, but they both came through. They both delivered on this track. Pretty good. Drive It Crazy. Not saying it. This one kind of has like that reggae intro, kind of a smooth, slow feel. Not too much stands out in this track for me. You know, it was kind of easy to forget except for that intro. I like kind of the title line in this, you know, the repetitive song title. Again, I'm not going to say it. Again, I guess it could get a little bit repetitive, but for me, this one wasn't as repetitive as some of the other ones. So it fit for me. It fit on this album, but it didn't give me anything, you know, different. Turn Your Back featuring Gucci Mane, Meek Mill, and Whole Slab. I'm not familiar with Whole Slab. This one's harder, a little more aggressive delivery from Rick. He's got that little more, you know, edgy kind of sound on this track. A lot of Rick Ross stuff features a lot of other rappers and artists, so this one kind of brought me a little bit of nostalgia in that sense, that, you know, he brought a whole bunch of people onto this, and I think it worked really well. Everyone had, you know, really good verses. No one was, you know, overpowering the song too much. I think they all kind of worked well. You know, the beat was not overpowering, but it was a strong beat. You know, I think it was a nice backdrop. It was, you know, just enough. It was just exciting enough, but didn't overpower, you know, all of the other stuff going on with all of the rappers in the song. The next song is Night of the Templar. The intro has kind of like synths and bells. Again, really awesome instrumentals on this mixtape. Again, I didn't think there was anything super special about this, but it's a cool track. It has a nice flow to it, but it didn't punch me. It didn't stand out. Next one, Take Advantage, featuring Future. Really good track. You know, I always enjoy Future. Again, his stuff, kind of like The Dreams, always has like the same general sound, but always a good sound. If you're gonna do something, if you're gonna keep something the same, do it well. Future had a really good flow, good sound. Again, typical Future. You know, it's about taking advantage of the stuff he's gotten and the life he's living before it passes. All good. Again, another kind of good message. All right, the next one, Beautiful Lie. I really like this one. This one was one of my favorites. I didn't need him to really say fellatio right in the beginning of the song. I think that kind of, I don't know, Rick Ross saying fellatio just didn't sit well with me. It didn't. I like when Rick gets kind of in that slower vibe, kind of like he did back in 2012. He did a lot of kind of slower rap tracks that were just vibey and kind of chill. So this one kind of brought me back to that. I don't know, I like it. He's kind of got like this out of key, like sing rapping, you know, that he's doing, and it works. It really does work. She Wanna Fuck, featuring August Alsina. I can never pronounce that. August brings out a nice smooth sound to the track. Again, talking about women. It's a pretty cool track. It's got kind of an R&B feel, which he does kind of dabble in sometimes, you know. A pretty good track. Again, on the better half. The next one, Bel Air. This beat is awesome. It's a boss beat for sure. It's a little more like an anthem, kind of pump it feeling, you know, a little more enthusiastic. Two Shots. This one's kind of a slower track, has a little bit more of a story to it, has that kind of flow to it. All right, I didn't find it fantastic. The final track is Dead Rappers, which is like a shout out to Pac and Biggie and all of the other rappers that have passed before him. This, I think, is my least favorite, honestly. I understand the idea, but I don't like the way it was executed. It kind of has a cool sound, but the overall lyrics and the raps kind of bored me. And I don't think it closed out the album, the mixtape, as well as it could have. But overall, I really liked this mixtape. I think that Rick did a really good job. I was not disappointed at all. I expected a lot from Rick Ross because he always comes through with some awesome stuff, and the instrumentals on this mixtape were amazing. He picked the best features. No one didn't really sit. Everyone kind of just worked, and it just kind of flew really nicely. Again, there were some tracks that, I don't know, I think I could have done without, but none of them were bad. He didn't have any bad tracks. Some of them were a little repetitive and annoying, but overall, you know, they might have had good raps and different stuff. So I think that it all worked together well, and I'm really excited about this. I hope you guys like it. I'm going to keep listening to it. It's been on repeat for like a day, you know, and it's awesome. I hope you guys check it out. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, all of that. Let me know what you thought about it. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, we can talk about it respectfully in the comments. And I will see you guys next review. Bye-bye.